Okay, you are in the kitchen with Jelly 007, and tonight it is one pot spaghetti in the Ninja Foodi, and I promise you it's one of the best ways to feed your family, quick and easy and delicious. And right there is everything you need. And I'm about to bring you around here. We're gonna get this started, and I'm gonna start browning that meat, and I'll explain everything else as we go. So y'all hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, so to start with, this is 80-20 ground chuck. Now, I use, it's very forgiving recipe. Sometimes I use, or most of the time, I use 90-10, but that's 80-20. This is 1 pound of spaghetti. I'm gonna use 2.5 cups of that. This is a 28-ounce can of Hunt's diced tomatoes. That's a 24-ounce jar of the marinara that was buy one, get one today. It's Classico Reserva, but the only reason I'm using it because it was buy one, get one. It instantly became my favorite for the day. And this is 6 ounces of sliced mushrooms. And that right there works very well. The next step is as simple as this right here. Sear saute on high, hit start, drop this 1.5, and that is right at, I weighed it, 1.5 pounds of the 80-20. That I don't wait on this to get up to temp. There's no need in it. I'll make sure you can see what I'm doing like always. And there's no need in waiting up to get up to temp. It's no different than your stovetop. So I'm gonna push that around. We're gonna let this start getting to brown. And all I'm gonna do is, once that happens, we're gonna start adding ingredients. And honestly, you might want to pour off that fat. I used to, but I don't anymore. It's a very forgiving recipe. Sometimes I used to do it, but I don't anymore. Even if I'm using 80-20 or 90-10, it doesn't matter. But anyhow, when that gets to going a little bit, and you can see it in there, when that gets to going a little bit better, we're going to building this thing. And it's simple. Be right back. Okay, so after about 5 minutes of browning that meat, and you can see it's not completely done. I don't want it completely done. And there's still a good bit of liquid in there. That's why I went to 2.5 cups. I think I used to use 3. But right now, I'm going to turn it off. And I'm going to let that sit, and it'll kind of, some of those liquids will evaporate. I'm not going to put this lid on it that I have here. I'm not using it yet. That's only for when I'm serving it. But right now, I've got to make this spaghetti fit. I'm going to turn around here to the sink, and I'm going to break this in half. So once I get that broken in half, all I'm going to do is just drop it in here and spin it around so it's not laying, on top of each other. I'm just going to kind of move it around. I'll show you in just a second once I get this broken and put in there. And that's what, the whole pound looks like. Now, obviously, it won't fit in there. So all I'm going to do is take this right here, turn around here to the sink, like I said, and snap it in 2. And you could probably do that a little easier if you did it a half a package at a time, because it's a little bit of it's pretty hard to break. All right, now all I'm going to do is just pixie stick, whatever you call it. I just don't want it laying, perpendicular or whatever. And that's it right there. And this is as simple, and it is real simple, and it's as easy as it looks. And that is it right there. That's all I'm going to do to it. That's what it gets. I'm not going to do any more, because you'll be surprised. It doesn't even have to be submerged. Now I'm fixing to pour all these liquids on top of it, but when you start pressure cooking, that steam it's in a vessel that's under pressure with a lot of steam. It's going to cook that spaghetti. But anyhow, here we go. Whole can of the 28-ounce diced tomatoes, liquid and all, just like that. And I do try and put it over the noodles. I think that helps, or the spaghetti. And I do think that means something, so I try and do that. I'm going to put this entire 24-ounce of whatever my special of the day was. And then you can use anything you want. I've used all different kinds, and it all works. It really does. And then I'm not going to drain these. They're going in just like this, the whole jar, liquid and all. And then I'm going to push that around a little bit just to get that kind of ready. Then we got to put the chicken broth in. But I'm just going to put that around like that. And then right here, 2.5 cups, I've got measured out. And we're going to pour that right down the side, right there. And you can see, this is almost, you know, I'll show you right here. Here's your max line, and everything's good, because that's only 1 pound of spaghetti, and it's really stood up on top of that meat. It's not as tall as it looks, because once it starts cooking, you'll see when I open it, it goes down a little bit. But there's your max fill line, so we're well within that, and there's no need in doing anything else. It's like magic. You'll see what I mean. We're gonna put the lid on. We're gonna put it to seal, and turn it on, and I'm gonna press pressure on high for 6 minutes. And we are off and running. And in 6 minutes, we're gonna do a quick release, and I'll show you what I mean. This is an excellent way to make a great meal for your family, so hold up. I guess I gotta press start. But there we go. Anyhow, now we're up and running. All right, I just looked back on my video and something happened to the audio, but all I did was once it counted down from 6 minutes, I did a quick release. And you can see it's taking it almost 3 minutes right now, and the pin still hasn't dropped. Okay, there it goes. And as you can see, it takes 3 minutes and 30-something seconds for it to, there's a lot of steam in there. And that's what I mean by, when it's in this vessel or in this chamber, that spaghetti doesn't have to be under liquid. But anyhow, get my hand where I can do this. As a matter of fact, there we go. Couldn't do it from that angle. All right, all we got to do, it looks like that. That's the way it should look. I got to set this in the sink. And all we have to do is mix this up, and you'll see what I mean. This is fixing to come together right now like magic. And I promise you, if you try this, you'll see what I mean. Now, I like tomatoes. You could cut that can down to a little bit more. I see they do look pretty prevalent right there on that 28-ounce can. You could go to the 14, but I don't think you need to. It does look it when you first open it. And when it sits here just a minute, and you can see some of it is melded, I call it, together, but you can see how easy it comes apart. And to me, this right here is an excellent recipe. But now, I like tomatoes, you know, and you can see they're there, but they're not that bad. I mean, it's not that, I think it adds a lot. I'll put it like that. I think it adds a lot to a lighter spaghetti. So to see how that is, I'm gonna get some of those out of there, as hot as that is. And it is. I'm gonna let that cool down just a second, and I'm gonna continue to stir it a little bit. But I mean, I don't think I need to say much more. That, you see what I mean by it cooks. It cooks excellent in there. It's, I got a feeling that every time I do it, the spaghetti is like al dente. I mean, really close. And I promise you, it is right now. It's almost hard to believe that it gets that close to what I used to shoot for when I did it in a rolling pot of water. But long story short, let that sit just a second. I'm gonna get some out and put it in this bowl, and I'm gonna eat some of it. Y'all hold on. Okay, I started me some bread to toasting. I forgot to do that. This video and stuff kind of throws your game off. So I'm gonna put me some in a bowl, let it be cooling. But again, I will make sure you can get a good look at that, because that's a huge pot of spaghetti that will feed many, and there is nothing wrong with it. And I promise you, or I guarantee you, if you try this, I will be shocked if this is not some of the best spaghetti you ever ate, period. And I don't need to say convenient. So my toast is out there, or my rolls are out there getting ready. I'm gonna go ahead and put me some Parmesan. Let's see if you can, no, I had your camera off again. I do that, I'm bad about it. But all I'm doing is putting some shredded Parmesan, and you can put what you want, I don't have to tell you that. And it's gonna need salt. I could tell by tasting it just a minute ago that it in my opinion, it needs a little salt, and that'll be it. So I'm going to get that toast ready, and I'll be right back. Okay, 1 pot spaghetti. I'm telling you, it is an absolute excellent way to cook spaghetti. And I know people that have in spots that are still doing it the old way. And I can see that. I don't because I've done this many times, and it is a little tricky. In fact, just then, when I opened it, I thought, oh no, too much liquid. It wasn't. It was absolutely perfect once you stir it up, but it always gets you that way. It gets you that way when you're putting it together. You think these noodles, now we'll say, you brown the meat, and I learned this, you brown the meat and you put the noodles or the spaghetti after you break it in half on top of the meat. Don't try and do it any other way, because you do the pixie stick where you spread it around. If you don't, they meld together. Not a big deal. It's still fantastic. You just kind of break them apart. So what I'm getting at is you do that, and then you put those tomatoes on top of the noodles. And I think that for some reason that seems to help, because they're perfect. I mean, 6 minutes is al dente as I've ever got them in a pot of rolling water. So, and again, when you open the pot, don't stir it. And in 2 minutes, look at it again as you're fixing a bowl. It's absolutely the perfect. The liquids off of that. I'll go back to the liquids on that. On those diced tomatoes, I think the diced tomatoes in that whole can, that 30 or 28 ounce can, it makes this a lighter like recipe, and it's restaurant style. I mean, it really is. And I know I've said that a lot, but it is. And I'm not just saying it. I guarantee you, if you cook it the way I just did and pay attention to the steps, mainly laying the noodles in first, you'll find that it's quick and easy, and it's one pot, and you can, again, set that pot in the refrigerator and heat it up again tomorrow by setting it in your Ninja and hitting warm. And I'm making this video way longer than I said I was going to. This is an excellent recipe. Now, I will say this. For me, it needs salt. I'm going to put salt on it. I've already tasted it. I know it needs it, and I'll probably put more than that, honestly. But that, I don't know. I mean, like I said, you got to do it. You got to do it once. Do it once. Give it one try. I mean, that is it's as good as it gets. I promise you. You're not going to beat it any other way. I really don't think you will. Anyhow, let me eat some of it to show you that I do eat it. I eat it because it's fantastic. Give it a try. Thanks a bunch for watching my video. I really do appreciate that. And I hope I help. I hope I help you get dinner on the table every once in a while. And if I do, that's what I'm wanting to do. Hey, I love y'all all. Y'all come back to see me. Like, share, subscribe, all of the below. Bye-bye. Okay, so don't touch that dial, because I got a bonus feature coming up, and it was because the next day I hadn't got everything edited on the other video. So I'm going to show y'all what it looks like after being in the refrigerator all night, and how you can be the Deddy of Spaghetti like I am. Y'all hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, so a couple of things to say right quick, and one is it's been in here 2 hours, and you're fixing to see how well it looks after 2 hours of heating and then a reheating, and after it's set in the refrigerator for about 12 to 14 hours. And spaghetti, like a lot of dishes, if you ask me, get better with time. And it does, and it did. Now, I have some people coming over to help me today put in an oven, so I got out some special stuff. I'm going to grate them special Parmesan over it, or fresh Parmesan. But I want to show you what it looks like. Again, 2 hours and 2 minutes after reheat, and about 12, 14 hours in the refrigerator. And that right there, I don't know how much better you're going to get that, especially if you picture that fresh grated Parmesan on it. And let me tell you, it's just as good as, again, no, it might be better than it was last night. Absolutely excellent. That's what it is. So, follow those instructions. I'm telling you, just try it. Just try my exact way one time. And I'm telling you, you'll be the Deddy of Spaghetti at your house too. But anyhow, thank y'all very much for watching. Come back to see me. Bye-bye.